are going to be, it's too expensive for them to get into the market. But I don't think it's going to hurt innovation. I think it's going to help. I also don't think that this is over yet. I mean, this is, so I don't, we don't want to have a public lynching for Samsung yet, because number one, I mean, there are a lot of avenues open to them to take a look at re-looking at this case, and I think that there's some problems with the verdict straight away. I mean, there was $2 million that was awarded to them on a patent that they didn't infringe on, and the judge said, you know what, you can't give them that $2 million. There's 109 pages of jury instructions, which apparently were completely ignored. So, I mean, there's a long way to go. They're going to ask, I think that, and again, we'll all know in a short distance of time, but I think Justice Koh, who is the judge in this case, is going to wind up having to throw that verdict out or diminish that verdict by a lot. Remember that Apple was asking for $2.5 billion. They got $1.05
almost
billion.
half.
Almost half. Now there's still, and if you look at the program that they were running this little bit before we started our talk, Apple comes back and says that Samsung willfully did this. And that's extremely important. That strong word willful means they could get 3 times the damage if the judge finds that it was willful. And there was some deleting of emails by Samsung. Samsung looked bad in this. This was a typical example of having lawyers run a case and not having...
But Luca, do you think the image of Samsung looks pretty bad this time after losing this battle to iPhone? Or you'd rather think this is a very successful campaign for promoting the publicity of Galaxy? It's a rather a nasty, brutal way of raising the publicity and fine-tuning the image of Galaxy, which is a very strong competitor of iPhone.
It's very difficult to say. Actually, by the lawsuit, our Samsung earned a lot of sympathy. I personally know a lot of people who really support Samsung because they feel this is Samsung create more choices for the consumer. It's part of innovation, and actually they feel very sad that Samsung lost the case.
But ironically, Samsung, which lost on almost every count in the closely watched trial in San Jose, California, and was ordered to pay more than $1 billion in damages. The implications are more obvious. They will also have to be cautious in how to design products to avoid being accused of imitating. I mean, imitation is the starting point of a process of evolution, isn't it? Because if you look at the sanjai of Chinese products, if you look at the copying by Koreans, and the early stage of espionage in the industries by the Japanese, I mean, this is pretty rampant. This was rampant.
Yeah, no,
there could be no exceptions.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the truth be told, and even I read Walter Isaacson's book on Steve Jobs, and he even quoted in that book that Picasso's saying that all great artists steal. And if you read the Steve Jobs book, I mean, they actually went to zero